Dan Weeks is the executive director of Open Democracy, an organization that argues for minimizing money's influence in politics. He took us around Manchester, New Hampshire on the eve of that state's primary to show us examples of both official campaign advertising and those from super PACs.
Oh, that's the one, right?
That's the one.
Which can raise unlimited funds for candidates, provided they don't give money directly to or coordinate with campaigns.
So, I don't know if you can even make out who it's paid for by, but we know
it's a bit faint. Paid for by Right to
Rise. I think the words are almost ironic. Washington's broken, way too big, and way too corrupt, says Jeb Bush. Paid for by an entity which raises unlimited contributions. Right to Rise has raised about $120 million so far. And so you've got Bush and a whole lot of other candidates who probably wouldn't be viable candidates were it not for these super PACs.
It's questionable if Jeb was ever viable, having spent a whopping $3,000 per vote in Iowa and finishing 6th. But signs like these, both official and from super PACs, proliferate before a primary.
So this is a pretty busy...
You get a lot of traffic.
Here.
And unlike the highways, they're going slow enough that you can see them.
And Weeks pointed out the barely noticeable distinctions between the two that allow campaigns to evade Federal Election Commission regulations, from differences in capitalization to tweaks in typography.
Kind of hard when you're speeding by to see that.
There's no way you can see that. And of course, it says paid for by Right to Rise, the super PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
It's not authorized by any candidate. I mean, which candidate would that be? I have no idea who they're talking about.
On the official Jeb signs, you'll see J, lowercase e, lowercase b, but not to be confused with this, which has nothing to do with Jeb Bush for president. So,
except for it's Jeb Bush for president.
Except that it's trying to get Jeb Bush elected president.
Yeah.
We pretend to have limits. We pretend to regulate this private money in politics as a way of preventing corruption, but those limits are meaningless.
Are they breaking the law?
The presumption has been all along that there can be no coordination, and that the campaigns, the super PACs can't look or quack like the actual campaigns, but the FEC refuses to enforce it, so ostensibly they're not breaking the law, but they're certainly breaking the spirit of the law.
So just to be clear, they can't look the same, except for they look the same, in the sense that capital letters, exclamation point, lowercase letters, 2006. I mean, they look essentially the same. To the naked eye, to somebody who's not a political animal like yourself or an activist, you wouldn't tell the difference, right?
That's right. Okay. So the Carly for America super PAC went to the FEC wanting to run Carly for America, capital C, lowercase A-R-L-Y. They said no. That looks too much like Carly for America, the campaign. So they capitalized her letters. They said C-A-R-L-Y stands for something else, which has nothing to do with Carly Fiorina for president. And the FEC said yes.
Did they actually make the argument that it was an acronym for something else?
They actually did. You can read the acronym. I don't remember what it stands for.
You're not being serious.
I am being serious.
You cannot be being serious.
You can talk to Anne.
Carly president means,
something that has nothing to do with Carly.
Catatonic Alien Rights League of Wyoming, like Yuma. And they actually spelled out what that acronym that doesn't exist means.
Incidentally, the Fiorina Super PAC is officially called Conservative, Authentic, Responsive Leadership for You and for America. That acronym adds up to Carly for America.
That's exactly right. The FEC said no to the first one. They said yes to the acronym.
But the FEC must be looking at this and it's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.